Hello and welcome to Your Path for Adult Learners, where we provide 24/7 online GED and HiSET preparation courses for adult learners. So before I get into our lesson today, I would like to welcome our subscribers and thank you very much for your support. So on today's Focus on the Test mini lesson, I will be discussing a problem that will resemble what you'll see on your actual test. So let us get started. So here's what a test item may look like. What is the surface area of a cylinder that measures 12 centimeters tall with a diameter of 8 centimeters on its base? And here we have our 5 options. We have option 1, 96 times pi, 2, 128 times pi, 3, 182 times pi, 4, 202 times pi, and 5, 402 times pi. Need your high school diploma? Your Path for Adult Learners offers 24/7 online GED and HiSET preparation courses for adults that are seeking to earn their high school credential. Learn more about our program at yourpathforadultlearners.com. So now before we get into solving this problem, I do want to stress the importance of making sure that you are familiar with various formulas that you will be required to know in order to successfully answer these types of questions and others. So you will need to know formulas in advanced algebra as well as geometry. Our students can actually go to our study guide and our study guides on the login page and access a list of geometry formulas. And you need to make sure that you are familiar with these formulas because you will need them in order to successfully answer these types of problems. So now we can go back to our question, and as we look at this question is asking us for the surface area of a cylinder. And believe it or not, there is a formula that you need to know in order to find the surface area of a cylinder. And so that formula is A, which is area, equals 2 times pi times radius times height plus 2 times pi times radius squared. Okay, so that's a lot, but you need to make sure that you are familiar with the formulas. And once you become familiar with these formulas, they'll become somewhat like second nature in terms of how to use them. So I do recommend that you use the list in conjunction with solving these types of problems. Okay, so when we look at our question, we see that we do have some information made available to us. We know the height of the cylinder, which is 12 centimeters tall, and it also gives us the diameter of the base of the cylinder, which is 8 centimeters. Okay? However, we will need to know the radius, not necessarily the diameter, in order to solve this problem. So now let's write that information here. So we know the height of the cylinder, which is 12 centimeters. Okay. And we do not know the radius. However, we can find out what the radius is if we know the diameter, the formula for finding the diameter. Okay. So now the diameter is actually located here. Okay, so this is the diameter of the cylinder. Okay, and we know that this is 8 centimeters. However, we need to find the radius, which we can find from using the formula for diameter. So the formula for diameter is D equals 2 times the radius. So if we know this formula, we can't find the radius because if we were to divide 2 on both sides, we're able to cross out the 2 here, which cancels the 2 out. leaving us with the formula for our radius, which is r equals d divided by 2. So now if we take this information, we know that d is 8, and we're going to divide that by 2. And so when we do so, we get 2 goes into 8, gives us 4. And so our radius equals 4. So now we know that our radius is 4 centimeters. Okay, so now that we have the height as well as the radius, we're now able to insert this information into our formula in order to find our answer. So let's do that now. So A equals okay. Let me write that here because I'm going to need more space. So here we have A equals 2 times pi, and the value of pi is 3.14. Is actually more values, but this is what we actually use, okay, when we round it up, okay, times the height, times the radius, which is 4, times the height, which is 12, then we're going to add the first half of the formula to the second half, which is 2 times the pi again, which is 3.14, times the radius, which is 4, and we're going to square it. Okay? So now we're able to now solve for our answer. And when we multiply all of this, we actually get the value of 301.44 plus, and when we multiply all of this, and when we square the 4, we get 4 times 4, which is 16. And so when we multiply all of this, we get 148. We add these two values together, we actually get 401.92. Okay, and we can round this value up to 402 centimeters. Okay, so now when you come over here to your options, you see that 402 centimeters is not listed as an option, okay, because your options are presented to you with the value times pi, okay? So now how do we find out our answer in terms of the value times pi? So now if we were to take 402 centimeters and divide this value, okay, by the value of pi, which is actually 3.14, we get 128. And if we were to multiply this value times pi, which is 3.14, it will give us 402 centimeters. So in terms of answering our question, which asks, what is the surface area of a cylinder that measures 12 centimeters tall with a diameter of 8 centimeters on its base? We can look at our options and see that option 2 is the correct choice in terms of answering this question. And so therefore we can eliminate options 1, 3, 4, and 5 because we know that they do not apply. So good luck testing. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and watch out for more videos to come your way. And you can do that by hitting the notification button down below. Also, be sure to follow us on our other social media platforms such as Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. You can also join our study group and learning community on Facebook.